Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Caliban. Yep, we're getting a second video this week on the Caliban because it's Mimi and it's really not a very good tank, but it's got a derp gun and you know me, derp guns, derp is love, derp is life, right? Derp guns are fun, and I enjoy derp guns. I enjoy the Caliban because it is derpy. Like I say, it's not a good tank, and you really do have to have the stars align to do really well with it. And that is get a pretty nice matchup, which is what you're going to see in the next two games. And then RNGesus takes the wheel and lets your shells actually hit where you're aiming, because that's the one thing that the Caliban doesn't do very often, and that is actually hit exactly where you're aiming, and it just loves to miss them. But because it's got high alpha, and with 180 pen on the Hesh, it's pretty decent, the capabilities, or should I say the potential that the tank has is crazy, right? If RNG goes with you, if RNG lets you hit those shells, you have the right matchup where everything you're firing at will be able to be pennable by the Hesh, you're going to have some very big games. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, what, 850 alpha or something like that for the HE? If you pen 10 of those, 8.5k, you know, it's doable, right? It could happen if you have the right circumstances. But as you can see with that shot on the Leo, yeah, it doesn't like to hit that often, because that was a fully aimed shot on that guy and it went to the far left of the aim circle and missed him. And that happens a lot, and actually that's probably 90% of the time with the Caliban. Like I say, you just got to have the fortunate games where people don't really push you that much and you get enough time to aim and RNGesus takes the wheel. And you can dirt people like that STA for a lot. It's so satisfying when it does pen though, because that alpha is dirty. So in terms of a crew on the Caliban, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Rapid Aim, Clutch Braking, Steady Aim, Snapshot, and Run and Gun. All the gun perks to make the gun as good as possible. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse better because the turret traverse isn't the best. Clutch Braking to make it just feel that little bit more responsive when trying to swivel around so I can get out of places. And all the rest of it like normal. In terms of equipment, like I say, optics, ammo swapper, or advanced reload as it's called, and vert stabs, because vert stabs, you really need vert stabs. The accuracy is so abysmal that you just need those. But when you hit shots like that, you sometimes think, hey, accuracy schmaccuracy, right? That poor A43 Black Prince. He was only trying to enjoy his little tier 6 heavy tank, and Caliban said, no mate, no, you cannot. Because we were higher up, we could actually hit that guy's engine deck, and we penned it and set him on fire. This Trailblazer, I don't think he knew what world of Pert he was in for, but we managed to hit him, fortunately enough, and we're reloading. Obviously, in this replay, we're using the auto reloader, so we do have the ability to two-tap if we need to, which can come in handy. And with the ammo swapper, again, I'm going to say this like I did in the review for it the other day. If you're using the auto reloader, make sure that you're fully loaded, you have the full clip in when you use the ammo swapper to swap to AP or HE. Because if you have the one shell in, like now, and I was to press A to try and switch to AP, because I think, oh, I need AP to go through the Caliban or the AMX65T, it'd make me go sit through the whole reload, and that would take forever. So right there, we go over on the Caliban, and I was aiming for the little engine deck that was sticking out at the back, because as you can see on my Caliban, the engine deck actually sticks up above, and you can see it's protruding from the hull, and that's not very well armoured. So I was thinking, hey, I can pen that with the Hesh and I'll do some massive damage to him. But unfortunately we didn't. Unfortunately enough, he didn't actually pen us either, which is decent. Which means we actually did fairly similar numbers of damage to each other. The A43 Black Prince was coming in and we managed to shut him down with a Hesh shell. We didn't need to pen him, we could just splash him to death. And I really want to get 2 Hesh shells into the back of the 65T. He's presenting, but then, okay, the Caliban's here. I'm looking at where I could possibly pen this guy with the HE, and I'm looking to see if can I get it. And I think, you know what, actually? This guy is actually killable with 2 shots of AP. What am I doing? Why am I backing up and staying safe? I should just load AP and go for it. So that's exactly what we do. We slap one him. He goes, oh no, I may as well shoot, and then we finish him off. That's where you really notice how useful and how good having the advanced reload is for this tank. Because if I didn't have that there, I'd have only probably splashed him twice with HE and put him down to like 300-400 health. But with the ammo swapper, I was able to switch to the 292 AP pen, AP rounds with, I think, the 600 alpha, and shut him down. That's why the ammo swapper is so vital for this tank, because it's like, at any situation, that Hesh there for that guy was the wrong choice. It was not the ammo for the situation. I wasn't going to be able to do anything with it, so I needed the AP. We switched to the AP with it, and we managed to do some serious damage to that guy and kill him and shut him down, which, you know, was really good. And so far, we're up to 3.6k damage and 579 assistance. There's only 2 tanks left. We know roughly where they're going to be. They're going to be along this K line somewhere. So that's where we're going. We switched to Hesh because they're both very... Well, one's a tier 6 TD that I can pen with AP or Hesh. And the other is a Balsig, or an Iron Rain, actually, I think it is. And, you know, we like to pen those things. So we see the Iron Rain, and as soon as he got spotted, I thought he was going to get eviscerated. So I was like, you know what, I'll take a snapshot, see if we can get it in. Unfortunately, it didn't hit. But we've got an auto-reloader, so you know what? Again, I was expecting him to just die, so... Dropped the second shot to try and pen the Iron Rain, and the shot went so far wide that we ended up hitting the poor Jagdpanzer and finishing him off instead. Because Caliban, and, you know, shooting straight is hard. We finished with the victory, 7 kills, 3.6k damage, 579 assistance, Ace Tanker, the Devastator, Top Gun, High Caliber, 1875 base XP, a nice game for the Caliban with the auto-reloader in a pretty good matchup. And like I say, if you get a good matchup like this, you can have some pretty solid games with the tank because, well, you can pen... Wait, if you're top tier against tier 8, the 180 pen on the Hesh becomes really viable, and you can pen so many targets with it, especially if you catch them in the side or the rear, and you'll do just massive damage. And then, even so, if you need to pen them and finish them off for like 500 odd, you can just switch to the AP and finish them off, which is exactly what the AP is good for with 292 pen. You're going to pen everything with that, and that, you know, that's easy enough. So we're on to the second game, and the second game we're on Arctic region, and we're going to go straight up north, up the 1-2, and go up to the position about C2. And in doing so, we can hopefully get some shots at anyone that may be shooting across at us from the, you know, the B4-5 position, that little ridge there. And with that, people too tend to sit there, hull down on that ridge, and that makes sort of viable targets for the Caliban, because at that point we can sit on this ridge line, hull down, fully aimed, and just keep looping in HE shells. And, you know, obviously, because it is a derp tank, obviously the Hesh would be nice to pen people with the Hesh. We don't have to pen them. We can just splash them for 200-300 damage consistently, as long as the gun, you know, behaves. So far, a lot of their tanks have been spotted going down the 9-0. They've got a tank at F6, and there we go. The first tank is spotted on their team on this flank. It's an I6B. It's like, okay, load the AP, because I can just pen an I6 black easily with the AP, and that's what we do. We slam it straight in, and that's where RNGesus was a bit kind to us, because we didn't really even aim it that much. It just slammed in for 588, which is pretty damn nice. We're pulling forward very, very slowly so that the aim circle doesn't bloom out, because that is the one thing. If you're going to peek a corner, poke a corner in this tank, make sure you are doing it slowly and your aim circle won't reset. So that poor CS44 poked out. He poked out and it was like, hey, I can pen that guy with Hesh. Switched to the Hesh round, slapped it in for 800 odd, and that poor guy felt the wrath. And as you can see, I'm thinking, what is a better choice to fire here? So I decided to load the Hesh because it's a T43. I can pen that T43, and the shell just loops in for 840 odd, shuts that guy down. Oh my goodness, the RNG so far has been kind. I mean, we've done like 3 shots of damage, and we're up to 2.25. This AMBT pulls up here, and it's like, hey MBT, I can pen you, and we slap in the shell for 799. Because that AMBT was hull down, but it doesn't matter because I could see up the underside of his turret, and I could pen the underside of his turret because it's only like 100mm, if that. That's why the AMBT is annoying with its armor, because its armor's pretty decent, but if it's hull down like that, you can just pen it underneath the turret and do some serious damage. We have 180 pen Hesh, and we penned it for 790. So right there, we got an opportunity to shoot that Tiger 2 that's in a really unorthodox, weird position. And we slapped that in for nearly 900. We're up to 4k damage in, what, 5 shots? Maybe 6? Yeah, it's going well so far. I couldn't quite find the shot on the Leo, and I was going to go for this IS-6, but then it's like, hey, that's Hesh pennable, that Udez. Slap the Hesh in for 832, nearly put him down. Well, you know, could have one-shotted him if we got lucky, but we didn't. But we put him down 2 at one shot. I'm not actually particularly that scared of this IS-6, because the IS-6 has to pen my side. He will struggle with his penetration to actually pen my front. But obviously, with his 122mm gun, he can overmatch my 35mm of side armor, which is not good. So right here, we're reloading this shell, and it's like, okay, this Leo has to go. I cannot be thinking about a tank that's sat behind me. Unfortunately enough, he hasn't really realised that I'm facing him, so we managed to shut him down. Now we've got the IS-6 coming in on us. He's clearly auto-aiming and bounces off our front. Like I say, he's probably actually going to struggle with our armour, unless he actually shoots our side like that, because he'll automatically pen it and overmatch it. But now he's fired, he's screwed. He was only on 26 health, so we switched to the Hesh, so we only have to splash him and don't have to suffer a ricochet. So we're down to 731 health. It would have been nice to not lose that bit of hit points to that IS-6, but it is what it is. We can only do so much. We're up to 5.7k damage so far, and there's still quite a few tanks left. There's this Udez left, so we've got the H-E in so we can splash it, which we loop in, and we do, and that's the Udez gone. And it's like, right, okay, where's the rest of their team? We know there was a Tiger 2. He's dead because we've just checked the listings, so he's not down there. I wonder what's lurking, because possibly there's going to be something lurking on their sniper hill at C8, right? I imagine so. I would have thought there would be, so it was like, okay, which way do I go? Do I go right and go down and under and round, or do I go left and go round and up, right? There's currently 4 tanks spotted at H8. Make that 5 now with the tank spotted at G7. So we know there's 1 tank unspotted. We don't know where that tank is, but it's currently unspotted. So it's like, okay, there's 1 tank left. It's a TD. It's probably, I'm still imagining it's going to be up here on this ledge. And if it's not, I'm still going to get a good shot down at this Barask that's down there. So that's the plan. So I'm coming around expecting to find something, and we don't. So it's like, okay, we're going to wait for this Barask. We're going to see if we can get a shot at this Barask. And there he is. We're aiming, lead it really well, and slap him for 790. RNGesus is with us in that game, because probably 8 times out of 10, that shell would have definitely missed. So RNGesus is with us. We'll take it. So now we're going to go after the tanks that are down here. We've got a heavy tank. We've got 3 TDs down the J line. So what I want to do is try and get up behind these guys and cause panic. Stop slapping big shells in, and hopefully they'll have to turn around to face me, and they'll give their rear to my allies. But unfortunately, the Caliban and the T-28 get shut down, which is something I don't quite process that much, to be honest, right at this moment in time, and it's a big mistake. Because I'm like, oh, right, well, you know, I've just one-shot that poor T-25/2. And, well, currently, we know there's 2 heavy tanks around this corner. And it's like, okay, we know where they are. There's a medium tank as well. The Indian Panzer bounces, we shut him down. And then there's this TD on our left that actually gets spotted, and it's like, wait, what? Where have you come from? I think that's his first time spotted, or his second time spotted. And it's like, oh god, that guy won't struggle to pen us. He slaps a shot into us, puts us down to 340 health, which means we're pretty much a one-shot for all of them. We load the AP rounds because we're guaranteed to pen this Stark STR VS1 because we'll overmatch it. Fortunately enough, we managed to slap the shell in, and the shell actually just doesn't hit the ridgeline, which is decent. Again, we're going to wiggle, because if we stayed stationary, it makes it an easy pen for him. Wiggling makes it hard. Now the 53 TP is coming in. I'm thinking, please, guys, TDs, help. But it's not happening. He backs up. We slap a shell into the 53 TP with AP. And the 50 TP prototype shuts us down. And Unfortunately, we lose the game there. We came second on the MVP screen. 8 kills, 8.7k damage, 762 assistance, ace tanker, Bradley Walters, Devastator, Sniper, Top Gun, High Caliber, massive raft of medals, 1829 base XP on a loss, which is mega, 8.7k damage in a tier 8 heavy tank. Mad numbers. Like I say, the Caliban isn't a good tank, but because it has high alpha and high pen, it's capable of some big things if RNG goes for it. And we did 8.7k damage. That's the Caliban. Derpy fun. Derp is love. Derp is life. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.